Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda if you are new here. If you're not new, welcome to my channel. I hope you hit that subscribe button and join this community. And if you enjoy this Q&A, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And for today's video, it's going to be a Q&A. So I asked you guys to ask me some questions here on YouTube community page and on my Instagram. So make sure you're following me there on Instagram as well. I tend to do these Q&As from time to time, and I wanted to do kind of an updated Q&A because I've been blessed to have some new followers on this channel, and I wanted to just update you guys and answer some questions so you can get to know me a little bit better. Of course, Brooks has to be all up in my grill because I'm filming. So yeah, my dogs might be in and out in this video, but that's just a part of my life. They're always around. Say hi. Hi. Okay, so I am going to just start answering some questions, and some of them might, if they're like repeated questions, I'll just answer it once. So the first one is, how old are you and Joey? Do you ever see yourself switching plans when you get closer to your goal or when you are on maintenance? Joey and I both are 28 years old, and no, I don't. I feel like blue is just what works best for me, and I really like the 0 point foods on blue, so I feel like it's going to be the most sustainable for me. Okay, next question is, what is your favorite movie and what type of music do you listen to? And then she asked two more questions, so I'll answer that first one. What is your favorite movie? I feel like my favorite movie always changes. I love Fried Green Tomatoes, Chocolat, all Harry Potter movies. Signs is a really good movie. I love that movie with Jodie Foster. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest watching it. It's an older movie, but it's really good. I love movies, but those are like the few that I have on the top of my head. And then what type of music? I really like rock, like soft rock, classic rock, pop rock. I like a little bit of country. I like R&B. I like reggae. I like jazz. I'm not really huge into rap. Only some rap, like older rap, but I'm more of like classic rock. I like my rock music. What is your favorite thing about your adorable dogs? My favorite thing is that they are so lovable and they just feed off my energy. Like, they know when I need some love, and they're just like, their personalities are, I don't know, it's just like I know them so well and they know me so well. So it's really cool that like an animal who can't really speak to me and verbally talk to me like gets me so well and knows what I need, you know, when I need it. So they're just amazing. Brooks is literally laying right here next to me right now. They're just the best things ever. I seriously love everything about them, and I always think like I'll never have another dog that's better than my two dogs now. I seriously get so emotional when I talk about them because they're just so sweet. I had to show you guys that. Okay, what is your biggest pet peeve? Okay, wait, okay. Here. Will this keep you occupied for a little bit? My pet peeve. What is your biggest pet peeve? My biggest pet peeve is probably bad drivers. People who like get over in the lane just to get in front of you to hit a red light. That's one. People who think they're better than other people based off like materialistic things, or like follower counts. That kind of annoys me. And that's probably it. Honestly, I don't really have that many big pet peeves, but those are the two that come to mind. What's your favorite way to treat yourself? Hers is get nails done and purchase a new book. Ooh, yeah, purchase a new book. My favorite way to treat myself is probably to buy like a really good new pair of tennis shoes. I've been into tennis shoes lately, and buy me a new plant for the house or flowers. I love treating myself to flowers. Okay, this question has been a question that's been asked quite a bit. So if you ask something similar to this question, I'm going to answer it just right now, and thank you for asking. It's a really great question. I feel like I just keep failing. I'll go a week and do great with tracking, and then when the weekend hits, I fail hard. How do you stay motivated during weekends or when you just want to eat crap? P.S. Love your videos. Thank you for your amazing content and for being so motivating. Thank you for thinking I'm motivating. And thank you for just that sweet comment. Okay, so towards the weekend, I know what you mean. I feel like the weekend is just like this mental thing. We think like, go crazy, eat what you want, because most of us aren't working on the weekend, so we have so much time on our hands because we're not spending 8 to 9 hours, sometimes 12 hours at work every day. So for me, I always make sure that I use my weeklies towards the weekend because I know I'm going to want to eat more because I have more time on my hands. Even though I do work from home on the weekends, even for me, I don't edit as much on the weekends or film as much on the weekends. So I like to save my weeklies. I get 42 weeklies. I save those towards the weekend, or I try to. I aim to do that. And I always make sure I have something I've been thinking about throughout the week that I'm craving, like whether that's a burger or chicken tenders and fries. I make sure that I have a more low point friendly option towards the weekends. I like to make my own fries myself and air fry them so they're not fried in oil. And then I like to get the cauliflower spicy chicken tenders because they're 2 for $2, which is great. And I like to have like Bolt House honey mustard with that. And once I eat that, I am satisfied. I may have like a little treat at the end of the night, like an enlightened chocolate bar or like a little half-cup pint of enlightened ice cream. And then if it's something like a burger, I like to do like a lean beef patty with a Velveeta cheese slice. I might have the bun. If it's 4, 5, 6 points for a bun, I might do it, or do a lettuce wrap. So just whatever you've been thinking and whatever you're craving, try to plan before the weekend hits, because once the weekend hits and you're hungry, you might just give in to eating something that you might not really want to be eating, because it might trigger an old bad habit, or you're going to be using a lot of points on that specific meal. So kind of plan ahead, get it, go to the grocery store, grab it, and save it for the weekend. And that's my biggest tip for you. And try to just keep doing that, and it becomes a habit, and you know that that's what you need to do to set yourself up for success towards the weekend. So I hope that made sense. You seem to have had a lot of spiritual and mental growth as well along your journey. Has this happened naturally along the way, or have you taken any purposeful steps like reading particular books, meditation, etc.? You have a very relaxed vibe to you. This is a really sweet comment because I feel like I have grown so much mentally and spiritually, and just my overall growth has evolved so much since I first started out this journey over a year ago. I do meditate as much as I possibly can. I believe in meditation. I believe in breath work. Book-wise, I don't really read too much books, but I have listened to like self-growth podcasts. I will link anything that I can think of down below that's really stuck with me. But also, I think once you start a weight loss journey, for me at least, it became like a self-love journey. And through self-love and self-growth, I've learned so much about myself and so much about other people from comments and stories that have been shared with me. And when people ask for advice, sometimes when I'm giving them advice, I'm also giving myself advice. It's like we both need to hear it. And I think I've honestly grown a lot just from that. Do you ever have large fluctuations on the scale? How do you remain positive? It always bums me out. So this question has been asked quite a bit, so I'll just answer it in this one. But yes, I have fluctuations all the time, you guys. It's gonna be normal. You will most likely guarantee have your weight go up and down. The day before, if you're eating lots of high sodium, that can change. Sometimes if I work out really heavy, like heavy weightlifting, my body will hold on to water to repair my muscles, and I will notice a gain. Even when I'm working out and sweating and I'm like eating right and I'm working out pretty heavily, I will notice a gain. But I try to always go with how I feel, my measurements. I do recommend measuring yourself, measuring your body. My dogs are being really cute. So distracting. And clothes. Like I always like to buy a outfit, whether it's too small, and then I can like slowly see myself fitting in it, or noticing, you know, clothes getting too big. So the scale is like, it's such a confusing thing. I don't think it's the number one thing to always be focusing on, because it does fluctuate so much. Okay, did you have any trials and errors before really losing weight? If so, how many? How often did they occur? So I did try to lose weight. I mean, pretty much my whole life I've been on diet pills. I've done crazy calorie deficits. I've tracked my calories. I've hired a fitness coach, a health coach. What else have I done? At one point in my life, you guys, I was bulimic, like 6 months when I was really young in high school. I would eat and then like purge all my food to try to lose weight. I would take so many diet pills, Adderall. I mean, I tried a lot of things. I did a crazy raw vegan diet where I only ate raw fruit and veggies for 14 days. I did that. So yeah, I mean, I've tried so much stuff, but this is the only thing that has been sustainable and where I can continue to see where I'm losing weight, or I just maintain and then I will lose weight, maintain, lose weight. You know, it's slow, but it's working, and it's the only thing I can stick with. And I've never in my life have lost 57 pounds. So I know that it's doable, and I know it's setting me up for my life and my future, because I feel like I'm always going to have to be kind of focusing on weight, and you know, this is the only thing that's been sustainable for me. Okay, who are your favorite YouTubers to watch and inspire you? Thank you, love your videos. My favorite YouTubers, I don't honestly watch very like many health and fitness related channels, and I don't watch YouTube that much anymore, but I do have one person in particular who I go for health and fitness, and that's Sarah's Day. I just love her spirit and her outlook on health and fitness. I really enjoy her. High Carb Hannah, I really enjoy her. And then my favorite channel is not fitness related at all. It's just a family channel that lives a very unconventional lifestyle, and that's Sailing La Vagabond. And just watching them in general gives me life inspiration. Just, I don't know, they're just so amazing. So watching their channels just sparks a lot of inspiration in me. So those are my top 3 favorites. Okay, how did you and your husband meet, and how long have you been together? So me and Joey met in middle school of 7th grade. We became best friends. We didn't start dating until like the summer before freshman year of high school, and we were very young. That didn't last. We decided we wanted to just remain friends, and we've always remained friends. Even both of us dated other people throughout our relationship. We still always remain best friends, and that's what I always say is me and Joey's relationship comes from a very strong friendship, because I'm not kidding when I say we were like attached to the hip best friends. Everyone knew it. You know, people always said that we knew like Amanda and Joey would end up together, you know, and we did. But we really started dating pretty seriously after both of our serious relationships we both were in. Mine was for about like 2 years, and I think maybe his was around there. We started dating pretty serious after that. We just realized we wanted to be together, and then we dated, you know, on and off. We had some breakups in between, but they didn't last very long. And we've been together ever since, and we've been married 4 years. So I've known Joey a very long time, and I've loved him for a very long time, and we've been in each other's life for a very long time, it feels like. Have you thought about doing a meetup in Tampa? Yes and no. Like, I have thought about it. I don't know. I just don't know. Like, you guys, it's so weird to think that people want to meet me. Like, it's just like, what? But I have thought about doing a meetup, but I kind of been putting it off because I want to do a meetup where like it's at a restaurant, like I pay for everything, like I want you to come to like my table and not have to stress about like paying a bill, and I don't know, like you're coming to meet me, so I want to like be able to like offer something to you, and do like a small party at a restaurant, where I'm hosting it. I've thought about doing that and doing like a few of them so that like everyone gets a chance to do it. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely something I've been thinking about, and we'll see what happens like once COVID's over. We're not, you know, having to wear masks and not really able to like be eating out at restaurants. I haven't really sat down at a restaurant since COVID. The only time I have is doing an acai bowl where no one was in the restaurant and we got an acai bowl to go, but we ended up eating it there. That's the only time I've been in a restaurant to eat. So it's pretty crazy. Okay, I got this question quite a bit, but have you lived in Florida your whole life? Is it always hot? And how far from the beach are you guys? How do you like living in Florida? Have you always lived in Florida? I've always lived in Florida, born and raised in Florida. And it is pretty much always hot. I mean, we do get cold fronts, and that's amazing when we do, and it's like super cold for Floridians because we're just so used to the hot, humid weather. So when we get a cold front, it's very cold for us, and I love that when when that happens. But most of the time, it's always hot and very humid. That's like what I feel like puts Florida is like a different type of hot, because it's so humid. And we're about, I mean, we're probably like 35-40 minutes from the beach. So yeah. What do you tell yourself to remain disciplined? Have you ever gained weight and then lost it again? Yes, definitely. I've gained weight. I've documented it on here. Gained 7 pounds, lost it. I've gained 8, lost it, gained 5. I mean, it's just so like up and down, up and down. But I remain disciplined by just really wanting it. Like, I really want it really, really bad. So I'm like willing to like put in the hard work for it. And staying committed to tracking and working out, and yeah, that's really it. It's just I want it so bad, and I've committed to it. Like, from day one, I knew this would take a while, and I'm not giving up, and however long it takes is however long it takes, is pretty much what I tell myself. Because I'm gonna be, it's either I let it take as long as it's gonna take to get to my goal weight and lose the weight, or I just not try and I just stay the heavy weight I was at 300 pounds for the whole, you know, my whole life. Or I keep losing slowly, which I am, and keeping it off is great, and that's what I've done until I can finally get there. How old are you? Do you believe in manifestation? I'm 28, and yes, I believe in manifestation, and I've practiced manifestation, and I highly, highly believe it. I found it very confusing at first until like I've practiced it myself, and I've actually had things start to happen just from believing in them, that like they're already there for me. So it's pretty cool. What made you decide to lose weight? Just being uncomfortable in my body, feeling terrible, like day to day, feeling so lethargic and terrible and heavy and weighed down and uncomfortable. That's just like what did it for me. It's just how I was feeling. Do you ever plan on buying a home? Yes, I think. Honestly, you guys, I change my mind all the time. Bricky, lay down, buddy. I change my mind a lot. Sometimes I just want a bigger RV and I want to continue to live this lifestyle because it's so affordable. You can save so much money, and I just like the simplicity of it. I like that it doesn't take long to clean up. I like that I don't have lots of clutter, and I like that, I don't know, I just like how it feels. Like, living in an RV is just like a different type of feeling. It truly is. And then sometimes I do want a house, but then I think of like all the upkeep and the expense, and I don't know, like, I don't know what I want sometimes. So, I don't know, we'll see. We definitely can buy a house, we just don't know if we want to. Okay, I think I answered all of the questions from the YouTube page, and now I'm going to go over to Instagram. There was a lot of questions, and I don't want to repeat them, so I'm trying to like go through and see it. Have I said that? Have I answered that? Not sure if I am late, but have you ever considered being a model, and how tall are you? That is so freaking nice that you said that. And honestly, yes, I have thought about it. And I mean, that would be so cool to model. I feel like that would just be pretty awesome. And I love photography. I love taking pictures. I love expression and art and stuff like that. So that would be just like so cool. But I have no idea how to get started. I'm really nervous about like giving out information or like getting like some kind of like fraudulent modeling agency to trick me into something. So I haven't really looked into it too much. But if it, you know, just happened naturally, that would be totally cool. I'm 5'7". Have you, okay, this is a very common question, so I'm just gonna answer it here. I've seen this throughout the whole, like all my questions is quite a bit. Have you been through a plateau yet? If so, how did you get through it? Okay, so this is gonna be kind of a long answer because I don't feel like I've really been through a plateau, but when I don't lose weight, I know it's 100% what I'm doing. It's like, I know I'm being a little loose with measuring. Being a little loose with tracking correctly. I'm not moving my body as much. I'm not drinking as much water. I'm not getting 8 hours of sleep. And then that reflects on the scale for, you know, however long I decide to keep doing that. But then right when I start, you know, tightening all that up and taking a hold of it and doing it the right way and the correct way, I notice the scale will go down. If you weren't a content creator, what would your profession be? Whew, honestly, I have no idea, because before I did YouTube, I was selling on eBay. Before eBay, I was a subcontract administrator, receptionist for a contract company, a salon. Yeah, that's kind of like what I did. I don't like working for other people, so I have had a lot of different jobs. I've had so many different jobs, never was fully happy. The only job I actually really enjoyed was my first ever job. I remember I was like 12, 13 years old, and I used to work at a flower shop by my house. I'd walk to the flower shop, I'd strip roses and make rose bundles and put the roses together and stuff, and that was so much fun. So hey, I mean, that could have been a profession. Maybe owning my own flower shop. You guys know I love flowers. So I don't know. I think whatever my profession would be, ideally it would be something I was my own boss doing, you know, working for myself. Okay, what's your grocery shopping budget like? Have you noticed it's more expensive with WW? No, I haven't, but I just want to say me and my husband eat the same thing. So if you're on WW and you're eating different things than your husband and then you have to buy his stuff too, I could see that being a little bit more money. But Joey eats the same things I do. I don't really have to buy that much different things for him besides like granola and yogurt. That's like all I can think of. So yeah, it's pretty much the same as what it's always been for us. If you could eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Brooks, that's a hard one. For the rest of my life, probably potatoes, because you can have mashed potatoes, potato fries, potato pancakes. Yeah, you could just like have a lot of things with potatoes, and my weakness is potatoes, and that's why I'm not on the purple plan, because I would overeat on potatoes. Tell us about your tattoos. So I have quite a bit. There's nothing really crazy stories about any of them. I just get tattoos because I like how they look, but none of them have meaning besides one. This is the only one. Me and my cousin got a seashell because our best childhood memories is family vacations by the beach. We love the beach. Me and her just feel so connected to the ocean, so we got seashells. That's my only meaningful one. My rose one, I just got it because I liked more roses. A wolf. I have a girl here. More roses, lots of roses, but yeah, none of my tattoos really mean anything, honestly. I just love tattoos. I think they're so pretty. Why did you quit a plant-based diet? So I wasn't really plant-based, I was vegan, if that's what you're talking about. But I quit because I didn't feel my best, for one, and two, my beliefs just changed. Yes, I want to say, if I could change the meat industry, I would. But in the end, it just did not work for me, and I wasn't happy, and that's my biggest concern, is me being happy and me feeling good. And I just didn't when I was vegan. And I just became like a really, really unlikable person. I was so caught up in being vegan and veganism and the animals. I was just like very judgmental toward lots of people. It started to really bring out things and characteristics of myself that I did not like. It just didn't work well with me. I love vegans still. I agree with what they're doing. My mom is vegan. She's been vegan for 5 years. She went vegan because I did, and I made her watch a video, Cowspiracy. And you know, who's to say that's, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that we're not supposed to eat animals. I actually used to think that, but I actually think we are. But I do wish so badly that they would do it in a different way, and I wish there was no such thing as factory farming. I wish it was all just farm to a table, or raise your own animals yourself. That was more of like a thing, more accessible, more affordable, things like that. So yeah, there we go. Do both yours and Joey's family live in Florida? Yes. Besides, Joey does have 2 brothers that live in Oregon, but his dad, and his sister. His sister lives in Georgia, which isn't really that far. And then our mom and dad and my sister and all his other family pretty much lives in Florida. Are your dogs siblings? No, they're completely from different litters. What is your pups' names and age? They're both actually the same age. They're 5, and Brooks and Brixie. Brooks is the boy, and Brixie is our girl. Do your neighbors know you are a YouTube star? I don't really see myself as a YouTube star, but that's so cool that you do. But I actually did not know that some people knew. My husband does most of talking with the RV up front, and like he goes and brings them the checks and stuff like that. Surprisingly, Joey's the outgoing one in the relationship. He's very talkative and very outgoing. I'm very shy. Once I do get warmed up and able to like talk and start a conversation, I can't shut up. Which is so funny because it's so opposite of how I really am. But I am a very big introvert, so he's the outgoing one who goes up there and talks to them. And he told me today that a few of the people up front knew that I had a YouTube channel and watched me, which I thought that was so funny and just so cool. That like I appealed to more than just like one thing, like weight loss. And I was surprised that people here at the RV park watched my channel, which is crazy. And if you're one of them, hi. What is your race? So my mom is Czechoslovakian and Irish, and my dad is Korean. And gosh, what, like, I think his dad is German, but his mom is Korean, full Korean. That is what I am. And I feel like you can kind of tell I'm Korean or Asian. You might not be able to pinpoint that I'm Korean, but when I tell people that, they're like, oh, I can see it now. And I love hearing that because I love that part of me that's a little bit different, and I love Korean food. You guys know that. Most of you probably know that by now. It's my favorite food to make, and I like to like make things that my grandma has taught me. And she's Korean. I wish that I could write and speak Korean, but I can't, but she can. But I haven't really learned that, but that would be something I would love to learn, and kind of spark that side of me. Have you made any friends from YouTube? Love your page. I've made like friends over the internet, but none of the YouTube friends I've made I've met in person, but I have had connections and relationships with people over the internet, which I feel like is just equally as good. But there is times where I wish, like, gosh, I wish I like had all these people around me every day. Because I don't have friends. I don't know if that was ever even a question, but I don't really have friends anymore. I mean, I did in high school. I did a little bit after high school, but I've outgrown pretty much all my friendships. And like the only friendship I do have is with my cousin Becca. But there is times where I wish I had like a group of women around me, and that I got along with really well and just didn't gossip, but like, you know, fed into each other's interest and for like what they like to do, whatever their interests are in their lives, and who I could just, you know, be around and feel really good. But I haven't found that. I haven't had those connections, and any of the friendships I have had just weren't what I was looking for. So yeah, I kind of keep to myself, with my husband of course as a friend, and my best friend Becca, my cousin. So yeah. But I have made friends too, not just YouTube friends, but friends on here, like, you know, people who watch my channel. I feel so connected to a lot of my friends here, my subscribers. So weird to call like subscribers because they're just like internet friends to me. And I know specific names, and I can like think of their faces, and I like know like a little bit about their lives, and I feel like they know my personality and a little bit about me. So I think that's really cool that you can kind of like connect over the internet from people from all over. So that's awesome. How long have you lived in RV? We've been living in RV for I think a little bit over 2 years. We lived in one previously before this one that we're in now. Just we wanted to kind of test it out, see how we liked it. And it actually was an old RV, like a 1980 something. I don't even remember. It was old, and it went to crap pretty quick, so we had to get this RV, and we decided to get brand new. It was in 2019, and we love it. What's been your biggest NSV since starting WW? My biggest non-scale victory is probably just clothes fitting me differently, like clothes that I'm about to like try on and I'm like, oh, it's loose, like that's cool. And then sometimes I will buy something thinking I need to buy a 2X, and I buy it and it's like way too big. I actually used to wear a 4X. That was my, like, I had to wear a 4X, like 2X would not fit me. And then it went down to like a 3, and then a 2, and then a 1, and like sometimes I still think I need to always be buying a 2X. I don't know why. And I get it, and it's just too big. But sizing is so inaccurate. There's some things I still have to wear a 2X in. I just want to say that like sizing is so off depending on like different brands that you buy from. But that's probably my biggest non-scale victory, honestly. And going to the gym, like I never thought that would be me. I don't understand it. I never thought I would be comfortable enough to walk into a gym and just like work out. So that's pretty cool. Curious as to what made you decide to live the RV life. we honestly, it wasn't like we wanted to live in an RV really. We were more interested in just tiny living. But tiny homes are actually pretty expensive, so we were like, we can't just like buy a $60,000-$70,000 tiny home and not know if we love it. So we were like, okay, well, RVs are pretty much like the same thing. And then we got an RV and we loved it, and then we got into this RV and we really love it. There is times where I need more space and I'm like, I wish we would have gotten bigger. It's not necessarily like I wish we would have never bought an RV. It's just I wish we would have gotten something bigger, like a fifth wheel or a toy hauler, or something like that. So we just wanted to live a more minimalist lifestyle. For one, I'm very into that. I love minimalism. I might not look like I'm very minimalist, but I feel like I am. Like if you guys really saw like what I do have, you'd be like, oh wow, she doesn't have that much. I also like I have OCD, so I don't know what it is, but living with less definitely helps my OCD, because the things that I'm OCD about is clutter and mess. So yeah, I just like how simple it is and things like that. And then it's so freaking affordable. At least I think it is. You're able to save so much more money. You know, you're not just pouring out all this money into rent and never seeing it again. Like, this will be ours once it's paid off. We can trade it in, get something bigger, or we can keep it and travel down the road. And this whole time we've been living in it full time. So I just think that's a really cool thing. I think it's really affordable. We just have a lot more financial freedom living this lifestyle, and I really like that. Alright guys, that is pretty much it for the questions. I hope I answered all the questions that were asked. If I didn't, I apologize. A lot of them were repetitive, so I didn't want to repeat them. But thank you for asking. I hope your question did get answered. If not, stay tuned for the next Q&A. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. That's where I first ask about Q&As, so make sure you head over there and follow me, and subscribe if you're new. I would love to have you here. And thank you guys so much for being here, listening to this long Q&A, and just supporting my channel. I appreciate you so much. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. That lets me know that you like these videos, and it just helps my channel just get out there in the world, and I appreciate it so much. And leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing, and if you want to engage more in a specific question, leave a comment down below and ask, and I will answer. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.